Hey, everybody. It is Peter here from Strong Healthy Women, and we are here with Talking Wellbeing TV, where we share hints, tips, and advice about the foundations of wellbeing, which are move, eat, live. And I am here as normal with the lovely Sally Ann. Hey, Sal, how are you going today?
Good, thank you, Peter. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm really good, thank you. I'm really excited for today's topic because today we're going to talk about the 3 pillars of fitness. So up until now, we've been talking about, how you think about going to get started with a fitness routine, the types of excuses that can pop up or the reasons that can pop up along the way. But today I thought good opportunity for us to start to break it down into what the essentials are when it comes to exercising. And so there are 3 pillars. And so I thought we'd start by chatting about the very first one. And that very, very first one is drum roll. Can anybody guess who's listening? Anybody? We bang on about it all the time. It's strength training. Okay.
My muscles showing, but I couldn't.
No, not when we're sharing the screen. We would have to change the layout.
No. Yes.
Yeah, so the first pillar of fitness is strength training. So now strength training can be all sorts of types of strength practices. So it could be weight training. So that could be light weights or heavy weights. It could be resistance bands. So it could be little tiny bands, or it could be great big long bands. It could be bands with handles. It could be stability balls. We could use those for strength training. We could use our bodies. We could use barbells. We could use resistance machines and weight machines. Anything else there, Sel, that you can think of that I haven't covered off?
I was just going to say you could use park benches. You could use one of your favourites, children's swings, all those sorts of things that are out in the great outdoors. Yeah. I know that you use the bar for your pull-ups down at the horse stables and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the wash bay. Yeah. It's ready-made for pull-ups.
Yes.
So yeah, that just goes to show that you don't actually need equipment as such. So you can use pieces of apparatus around the property that you're living on, or out in parks, or even out on hiking trails, or wherever you happen to be. There will always be something that you can use in order to create some type of strength workout. Now, there's a few exercises that I would say are absolutely essential when it comes to strength workout. And the first one being squats. So, and if you think about it in its simplest form, it's when I sit, I go to stand, I come back down. This is a squat. So sometimes we get told we can't do squats. Have you ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you squatting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want you squatting. Yeah. And so if we don't want you squatting, what that's really saying is, I don't want you sitting and standing. I don't want you getting in and out of the car. I don't want you going to the bathroom. The reality is that a squat is an absolute fundamental, foundational exercise that will keep you moving for life. The other thing is squats are versatile. There's so many different types of squats. Do you want to lead us into some of the different types of squats we could do?
You can do your, traditional, feet forward, feet under your hips squat. You can do a wide squat. You can do a sumo squat, a half squat, a squat pulse. There is
a wall squat.
A wall squat, a raise squat, where you have one foot up on something higher than the other foot. One foot's on the ground, one foot's on the stairs. Yes, there's just so many squats that you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Goblet squats, Pistol squats. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah. So what's not to love about a squat, really? And I think that Kim summed it up really, really well. Hello. No deep squats, I was told. Also no lunges for my gammy knee. Hello, Annette. How are you today?
Hi, Annette.
Tell us a little bit more about your gammy knee. We might be able to find you a little alternate. So, yeah, now there are some caveats to squatting as well too. And so if you have extreme pelvic floor issues, then you're probably not going to be wanting to do deep squats. So your best option there will be to move into closed leg squats or to go to lunges. The other thing is, yes, we do have, we can have bad knees. And if we have bad knees, sometimes we're told not to squat. That depends on the type of, it's osteo, okay? So we know what it is. Fantastic. Thanks, Annette, for listening, and thanks for telling us what it's about. So I have arthritis in my knees as well too. So one of the things that I have difficulty with in regards to squats is stabilizing my knees so that they are forward, and that I'm not actually pushing into those knees as I actually do the squat. And so what can happen is, I don't know whether I can get back far enough. Probably not. Nope. Let's try. There you go. I am. So can you see, or is my name in the road there, Sel?
Your name's in the road.
Oh, any further? No, it's not going to happen. I'd have to stand up on the thing. So what can happen is that when we go to squat, we push forward. There we go. We can do it. Come back this way. We push forward into that knee, which therefore puts a lot of pressure on that knee joint. So it's really important that as we lower ourselves down, that we're pushing away from that knee. And so something as simple as coming into the seat and then just placing your feet directly in line with those knees and hip joints, and then pushing up through the heels and up and down. That will actually help you keep those knees where they need to be, and so that you can slowly start to build up those muscles for your squats. The other thing is that you can move off of a squat onto a bridge. And so that's another option as well too. And one of the things that we know that protects our knees when we're lunging is to do a reverse lunge rather than a forward lunge. So it is all about making sure that we've got stability in our body, and that we're making sure that that form or that technique is absolutely spot on. So that's when we need to go really, really slowly to make sure we're getting it covered. So I hope that helps, Annette. Any other words of advice there, Sel, that I've missed out on?
With the lunges, I sometimes advise, if it's really hard on those knees, doing that reverse lunge, just doing a step back, but flexing your muscles. Absolutely. You know, so just stepping back, flex your glutes, flex your quads, and they're still going to get that workout. Yep.
Yep. So just step back. So we've still got it simulated. Yep, and squeeze the glutes, the bottom muscle as we step forward, step back. But yeah, that step back motion is better than the forward motion when we've got those types of difficulties as well too. Yep. Yes. So there we go. Squat is one of the foundations. The other one, Sel, you want to tell us what one of the other ones is? One of the other exercises?
Are we going lower body or upper body?
Oh,
let's go upper body.
Let's go.
I'll go upper body. Push-ups.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Push-ups, yeah. Yeah, and like, even though we say push-ups is about, you know, upper body, it's such an all-rounder, isn't it, really? So it gets the core as well too. So tell us about squats then. Oh, sorry. Push-ups.
And so even when you're going into that advanced push-up where you're up on your toes, you know, you're working those lower muscles as well, and your glutes, because you're engaging your glutes and your legs and everything. And once again, push-ups are so versatile. So if you can't get on the floor, you can do wall push-ups. You can do wide arm. You can do triangle push-ups, you know. And when you're doing push-ups, doing all the different types of push-ups, they're working your muscles in a different way. So if we're going into that triangle push-up, where your hands are in a triangle at your chest, you're working your triceps. When you're going wide arm, you're working across this part, your pecs, the top of your back, shoulders, your biceps. So there's so many, like squats, there's so many different push-ups that you can do. Elevated, tabletop position. You can go intermediate, so it's just knees, hands under your shoulder. You can go advanced, wide. You can do in and out push-ups, which is a combination of wide and then bringing them under your shoulder and then taking them out wide. And bringing them up. So there's just so many.
One of the ones I've recently been doing is like a split one, so coming across and then coming across. That's a test in itself, because I'm not that strong in my upper body. You know, I'm certainly stronger than what I used to be. But so from a female perspective, us girls are generally less strong in our upper body and stronger in our lower body. You're the reverse though, Sal. You're very strong in your upper body. So so, and I think it depends on our build as well too, and just where we are with those types of exercises and what we've done and how we've used our body over our life as well too. So they're probably our two absolute favorite exercises that we believe that should be included in almost every strength workout you do. Now, the other thing about strength training is how many times a week should we do it?
2 to 3. I'd go 2 to 3.
2 to 3 it is. Some people will push it to 4, depending on, you know, the type of strength training that they're doing. But definitely you want to include 2 to 3 strength workouts in your weekly routine.
Yes.
So,
and keeping in mind that the 2 exercises that we have just mentioned can be done every day. They can be your first step strength training exercises that you can do to get you started, you know. And we talked about this on Monday. Don't go into that overthinking about it. I'm going to start with a wall squat. I'm going to start with an elevated squat on my kitchen bench. I'm going to start with 10 squats over my toilet.
Which leads us quite nicely into pillar number 2. So pillar number 2 is endurance and stamina. Now, let's use that squat as an example. If I turn that squat into a squat jump, I've just turned it into an endurance and stamina exercise by doing, and Sel's alluded to it, getting my heart rate up as I'm doing it. Giving me some love. So we might know endurance and stamina training as cardiovascular training, which means we're getting our heart pumping, we're getting our lungs working, and it means that we're becoming fitter. So we want to do 1 to 2 of these a week, where we really, really get that heart racing. Now, our favorite way to do this is a HIIT workout. Do you want to explain what a HIIT workout is? What the HIIT stands for?
HIIT is high intensity interval training, which we love. So what that means, ladies, is that you're getting that high intensity, so getting that heart rate up. You're doing it in intervals. So you may be going for 25 seconds and having a 5-second rest and then going again. Now, remembering that, and we see this sometimes in our virtual studio where you'll pace yourself. Okay, I've got 25 seconds. I'll get 4 reps out. But that's not the goal. The goal is to go as fast as you can with correct technique in that 25-second period, and you'll have a 5-second rest, and then you'll go again. So you want to go as fast as you can. And so what that type of training is doing is your body doesn't know what you're doing. It's going, hang on. She normally takes me for a 20-minute walk, and we normally walk at a, really
moderate pace.
What is she doing to me? And that's the whole benefit of HIIT training, because you will find that your, as Peter said, your cardiovascular will improve, and your if you're in that fat burning mode as well, because your body doesn't know what it's doing, so it's all over the place, and you get into that fat burning mode.
Yes, that's right. So, hey Helen, how are you?
So beautiful Helen.
She's just giving us a cheesy grin there. And so many times we think that by going for a walk that we're getting endurance training, we're getting cardiovascular training. We're only getting that if we're actually pushing our heart rate. We're generally not getting that if we're out with some girlfriends and we're chatting along the way. We're probably getting our heart rate up. We probably feel like we're getting our heart rate up because we're using all our breath to do all the talking as we're going. So it's not really a heart workout. Yeah, go on.
And this is sometimes where we get a little bit confused. We think that if we're out of breath, our heart rate's pumping crazy. And sometimes that's not the case. No.
Oh, no. I often check my heart rate. I haven't got my watch on now, but I often just hit the button and check my heart rate. And, I think that I'm working out and, it pops up and it says like 117 or something. And I go, nah, I need to get that a little bit more elevated. Yeah. And of course, this is the thing about it as well too, Sal, isn't it? That the fitter you get, the harder it is to get your heart rate up.
Yes.
So you really have to. Yeah, you got to work at it. Yeah.
Yes. And it was interesting yesterday. I was out walking with my daughter, and so I have a Fitbit, and so she talks to me while I'm walking. And so we're walking yesterday, and she's given me my 1 kilometre split time. And I've looked at Georgia and I've gone, gee, we're a bit slow today, love. We need to pick that up. And I said, not today, Siri, let's go. And so we ended up increasing our time and beating, I call her Siri on my phone, on my watch, but beating her. And that's one of the benefits, I think, of having a Fitbit or any sort of fitness tracker, because I felt, and Georgia felt as well, that we're working hard, but she's gone, no, move it up.
I know. There was something I wrote down. Just talk amongst yourself for a moment. Yeah, there it is. So walking, you're aiming to do 3 to 4 miles, I think it is, in that period of time. So you want that heart rate. So, and I think I calculated that at around about, I think it was 6.5 kilometers in the hour. It could have even been more. I did actually type it out somewhere, so I'll pop it up there. Do you know what that is out the top of your head, sir?
No, I don't know whether you halve it or you times it.
It's all right. It's okay. So 3 miles is 5 kilometers. Yep.
5 kilometers. Yeah. See, no. So she was
Yeah.
telling me yesterday. Well, when I got home last night and I did all my stats.
And 6.5.
Yep.
So it's 5 to 6.5 kilometers. There we go. So we know what it is. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So when I got home and I did all my stats, and my heart rate should have been at 156 during my walk, and I can tell you it wasn't at 156. You know, so that's yeah. So that's why I like it.
Yes. So the types of things we can do, we just talked about it, squat jumps. Now, squat jumps may not be for everyone. Like as Annette said, she's got osteo there. And so she can't do that jumping. But what she could do is hands in the air and then high knees. So she can lift her knees up, or she can do bottom kicks. So the secret to getting that heart rate up when you can't do those impacts exercises is to get your hands up high in the air. That will also help as well. You were going to say something there?
I was going to add something into that. Another option is doing a side squat. You know, so you're standing there, stepping out to the side, squatting, coming straight back up, other side, straight back up, other side, straight back up. That up and down movement, that gets your heart rate up too. You don't have that impact of jumping, but going from standing to squatting, standing to squatting. The thing you've got to keep in mind when you're doing these movements, ladies, is to get the pace into it. We sometimes tend to like to have a, 5-second rest at the top of a rep. I'll squat down, I'll come up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll squat again. And it should be up, straight down, up, straight down, up, straight down. Yeah.
Running, I think running's a good one as well too. So those sprints on the spot. So for our age group, there's quite a lot of research around the 12-second, 8-second interval training. So 8 seconds as hard and as fast as you possibly can do. So you sprint like crazy, arms going, legs pumping, and then bring it back for that 12 seconds. Just allow yourself to recover for the 12 seconds and then go again. The aim for that is to get to 20 minutes though. So you want to try and get to that 20 minutes. Yeah.
Skipping?
Now, skipping's great. I love a little bit of skipping. Yeah. Yes. And if you haven't got a skipping rope, you can just, simulate it. Use your hand. Yep. I often stand there doing a box thinking I'm tough.
Once again, if it's that impact that you're concerned about, it's just a heel tap at the front. You still got your arms going and it's a heel tap. Get those legs pumping.
Yes. Yeah. And then we can go to things like crossbody mountain climbers, spider climbers, walkouts to floor drops, burpees, all of those wonderful exercises that really, really do push us, crab abs as well too. So there's a lot of exercises that you can do and alternate through to get that heart rate really, really pumping. So our third and final pillar that we want to talk about when it comes to fitness is flexibility and mobility. So we really, really want to think about, stretching our body out as much as we possibly can, but we've got to make sure that we don't overstretch it as well too, because we've got ladies that work out with us who have hyperextension, which means that they really have to be careful to keep soft joints. But we all should be keeping soft joints. So soft joint means that this is a little bit loose, but I'm still, stretching it out as far as I can. So, and one of the things that we see is, we think we're stretching it out and we've got to bend about this much. So that's not a complete stretch. We want to go that full stretch. And so one of the things that you'll start to notice if you are shortening up your range is that you might be struggling to get things out of the higher cupboards. or, you know, down off a high shelf, or, you know, there might be a tree that you used to be able to cut down in the yard, you know, when you were pruning it, but now you can't. And you're struggling to get there, and that is probably because you've started to reduce your range of motion, so you're not stretching out as far as you used to, and the body just adapts to that. So what we want to do is we want to keep totally. So bringing the clothesline down as low as you possibly can,
and then hitting your head on the wire,
the bar, the wire, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we're stretching out our tendons and ligaments, and so that we've got that level of flexibility. Now, for many of us, we probably don't realize that strength training actually does that as well. So, and as you're striding out in a walk, or as you're doing some type of endurance training, you know, as long as you're doing, you know, your full ranges, you are actually getting a level of flexibility training and mobility training done at the same time. But we also, at the end of a workout, we really want to make sure that we recover. And one of the things that I've seen over the years is ladies, they come, they do their workouts, and then they go, oh, gotta go, busy, and they go running out the door. So they don't do that stretching. So you want to explain why stretching is so important to us, Sal?
Number one, flexibility and mobility. With your stretching, it's going to help you from your neck through to your ankles, ligaments and tendons. Everything in your body is connected. You can stretch one way and feel it in a different area. It could be that, you know, we're telling our ladies to reach for the ceiling, come up on your toes. But the whole intent of that stretch is our core muscles or our stabilizing muscles. So it's so good for flexibility and mobility, and it is also good for your bones. It keeps your bones strong and your joints strong as well, and balance. You know, as we age, if you're feeling that you're a little bit scared walking down those stairs and you're holding on, walking up those stairs and you're holding on, flexibility and stretching is so good for that, getting rid of that fear and giving you that confidence to walk down the stairs without holding on, because you know your balance is amazing.
Yeah. And something as simple as, you know, being able to step sideways, you know, at about a soccer ball height is really important, because, you know, when there's an obstacle on the floor, we want to be able to sidestep it. We want to be able to get out of the road of it, because that's when we will start to have falls, and then we will start to break the bones, potentially, if we don't have strong bones. And so it's really, really important that we, you know, make sure that our level of flexibility is covering off all of those things that naturally happen to us as we start to age as well too. So we do start to not lift our feet as much as we used to. We might have worn high heel shoes, so in our younger years, and then we go to, you know, those flatted heels as we get older, and so we start to adapt as we're going through. I think the other thing about flexibility is that it allows our muscles, well, I know that it allows our muscles to recover. So when we stretch our body out, our muscles recover. The other thing that happens is that it means that we're less likely to have injury as well too when we're doing that stretching. So that's another important aspect of the stretching component. Now, stretching could just be, you know, stretching that you do. It could be yoga. Yoga is another great form of stretching as well. So there's lots and lots of ways. And I always say, do not get out of bed until you've done the childlike stretch, you've done the little wiggle, got the fluid moving in your body, and then you've done that overall big arm stretch, and you've stretched out through your toes and everything like that. And you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel when you actually stretch your body out like that first thing in the morning as well too. It just energizes it a little bit. And of course, then you go to the H2O as well too.
Yes.
That's the Energizer kickstart, not the coffee or the tea, ladies, not the coffee or the tea.
The wonderful thing about flexibility when you're doing it, whether we're doing it in our virtual studio with our ladies or if I'm doing it by myself, just take touching your toes, for example,
Yeah.
You're reaching down, touching your toes. And I love that feeling of looking at your hands and, I can't touch my toes. Never been able to touch my toes. But when I'm focused on that stretch of reaching down for my toes, it's such an amazing feeling to know that you can go, I can go from this far where I was in my first stretch down to this far. That's a lot of stretching in my ligaments and tendons. So you are doing that whole touching your toes, ladies. Just push yourself. Every 15 seconds, just take it down a little bit further, and you will be surprised.
Yeah. And the other thing about stretching is, and you've alluded to this, is that it takes about 7 seconds before the brain actually realizes that you're in a stretch. So don't give it up, within that first 7 seconds. So you really want to at least go to that 15-second mark, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. There's been a lot of research that around, because there's a lot of us now that stretch way longer than the 30 seconds, as far as the body's concerned, there's no additional benefits. There's no harm, but there's no additional benefits as well too. You might just feel good about it. So, 30 seconds is generally around about the mark. We usually aim around the 20, 30-second mark, so to get that stretching done. So do you have any final comments on the 3 pillars of fitness, Sal?
Just what I said earlier when we were talking about strength training. The first step that you could take today, ladies, is just adding some squats in and some push-ups. It could be 10 squats, 3 times, or 10 squats. What time is it? We're 4 o'clock here. So you might go to the bathroom another 4 times, add 10 squats in every time you go.
Yeah.
Go to the basin, wash your hands, add 10 push-ups in. You'd be surprised how that adds up over the day.
Oh, it does. It certainly does as well too. All right, so ladies, just to recap, today we've been talking about the 3 pillars of fitness, which are strength training, which we're looking to do at least 2 to 3 times during the week. Then we moved on to the endurance and the stamina training, and so we're looking to do that 1 to 2 times a week. And then we moved on to talking about flexibility. And so we want to make sure that we include flexibility with any of the other 2 types of training styles so that we allow our muscles to recover and we prevent injury. And that's, your 2 really, really important factors. So if you are someone who is just starting out, we've got it looks very pretty in in color. I have printed it in black and white. So it's a beginner's quick start exercise guide. It has all of those reasons that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, those blockages that we might have for starting, like, I'm not motivated, or, I've got some type of ache or pain, or that I don't have time. So it covers off all of those things for you, all of the benefits of exercise. It also covers off these 3 pillars of exercise that we just spoke about today. But what it also does is it has a 14-day workout in there. So there's a little bit of a video. So all you have to do is click on that and you'll see us doing our little workout, so you can follow along with that. Or you can come and join us in our virtual studio for 2 weeks free. That is starting on Monday. So just click on the link and you can come and join us and see what it's like to actually cover off. So our Fit Flex program covers off all of those 3 pillars in one workout. So you don't have to be racing off to this type of workout and that type of workout and some other type of workout. It's all in one. So you get to save time, you get to save money, and we keep you motivated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Three of the best things in the world.
Yeah, three of the best things in the world. So thanks for joining us today, ladies. Thanks for joining me, Sal.
Thank you for having me, Peter. Thank you for joining us, Helen and Annette, and anyone else who was out there.
Yeah, so there were a few people there. All right, ladies, take care, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.